Hello everyone, welcome to CTN. To learn more about the show, please visit CIOTalkNetwork.com. And today's topic is Balancing Act, Dollarama's Digital Leap in the World of Budget Retail. So this is a case study that we are going to bring in front of you, which is about Dollarama, which is trying to integrate advanced technologies in their retail business, which is typically, you would say, a cost-conscious business model, which is what retail typically follows. So they wanted to introduce advanced technologies. Then they also wanted to do these advanced technology related implementation to essentially help customer experience enhancement and also to bring about operational efficiency. And they also have this ethos of making sure that they keep everything very simple and affordable. Now, starting from customer relationship management to data analytics and inventory management, there are many other areas in which they actually went ahead and fundamentally tried to rethink so that they could drive innovation, but at the same time make sure that they stick to their business values. Well, this is a lot of effort that must have gone into it, and there may be trials and tribulations and bruises and successes, but we would like to learn all of that. And for that, I have with me Nicolas Hien, who is the Chief Information Officer with Dollarama. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you. Thanks for having
All
me.
right, great to have you. So now let's talk about Dollarama's background. It'll be good for us to understand your organization a little better. And as you're going about in this digital transformation journey, which is never over, to be very frank, what people would love to understand is that how did your organization identify and prioritize which technologies they should be most effectively implementing to make sure that the customer experience is enhanced. At the same time, they're also able to contribute to the bottom line.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, Dollarama is the leading store operator in Canada. So with 1,500 stores. So we're coast to coast from Maritime to the west coast of Canada. And regarding the digital transformation team, navigating this whole transformation, especially when you are about, and you mentioned it, about keeping things simple and making sure the customer experience is top notch, is definitely not a walk in the park. So we really had to strategize our approach. And I think one of the very important elements is we didn't just dive head first into every shiny new technological trend that pop up. So what we did is we really took a step back and we carefully looked at all technology and thinking about which technology would actually make our customer lives better and boost our bottom line. So that was really a balancing act between customer experience and what's very important in retail, especially at the moment, the maximizing the loss prevention. So, for example, if we talk about self-checkout, it's really a prime example of this balancing act. So on the one hand, you want to have a seamless, stress-free customer experience to reach the famous frictionless checkout that everyone talk about. But so for that, you might set up the scale, the weighting scale, with just a little bit of leeway to avoid unnecessarily attendant intervention. But on the flip side, you have to keep an eye on potential theft. So that's why we had to make sure that the weighting scale is sensitive enough to catch the discrepancy, but also giving enough leeway for the customer not to be bothered by all the attendant intervention all the time. So it's all about finding the sweet spot between the customer satisfaction and the financial responsibility that we have. So, so when we set out on our digital transformation journey, we really had to weigh up each technology. So at the same time, we had to keep thinking about the long game and sure, technology might solve problem right now, but what about down the line? Were we always thinking about, okay, what's going to be the best thing for the future? We keep a long-term vision and we make sure that the solution we keep are helping us grow and evolve and are always aligned to our strategic priorities. So the idea is navigating this digital transformation was really a challenge. But we really kept our mind to stay true to our commitment to simplicity. So, and that's how we can now deliver the best possible shopping experience for the customer.
So one is that, of course, you looked at technology and you were trying to figure out what technology solutions that you can put. But then now we also know that technology is also changing very fast. So, and then no one has a crystal ball either. So if you were to look back and say, okay, the basis of you making a decision of one technology versus another, how would you make a decision on one hand that, hey, this technology is going to be around, or this approach to enhancing customer experience or operational efficiency would be the right way to go? Especially you can't have that crystal ball. And secondly, how did you also make sure that in the race to use the latest and greatest technology, you're not going to unnecessarily complicate the environment?
Yeah, so I think it's always this balancing act, right? So what we do and what we have done very well in the past was we are really focused on solving business issues. So the thinking is and it's really easy to fall into the trap of we have AI technology, or we have a blockchain, or and missing the point where you are not using a tool to use a tool. You are actually trying to solve a business issue, right? So I think what we've done, we were really focused on, and we are a super disciplined company. So the way we are doing things is this year we are really focusing on store operation and execution. Then we look at the business issue, and then we look at all the technology available to solve this business issue. Then, and while we're focused on this, we still tackling the other element that the business has and the other priority, but we stay focused, and we try to find the only tool that solve our business issue. Then, this year is loss prevention, for example. Shrink is going up. We're trying to find a tool specifically to solve our business issue. So I think it has been always a matter of staying very disciplined and keeping, because it's really easy to get distracted and just I speak to a lot of my colleagues, and at the moment everyone is talking about AI, right? So AI, and you feel that people are trying to use the AI instead of trying to solve a business issue with AI, right?
So now, I then, point well taken in terms of people trying to go overzealous with AI and trying to see if anything that can be done with AI, we can, we should do it. And there's nothing wrong with that hope, but it is still to be fully cooked for it to be, utilized in the mainstream, right? The jury's still out. Now, coming back to your, as an organization's, let's say when you sat down with your business leadership, they would have said, okay, give me this business impact versus put this technology in place, right? So that's your job to translate what they want as a business. And they then came back, and then you then made a decision of what combinations of technologies and processes and people related improvements that need to happen along with working alongside with your business unit leaders, you will get to it. So take me through your journey of kicking this off, keeping in mind that on one hand, you have to deliver business results. You have to make sure that you are coming across as an organization which is going to be taking care of its customers. You have to, within the company, keeping it simple. And then you're all along making sure that there are some, ethos that your companies follow. So help me deconstruct it on how did you go about starting? Because technology, I'm not saying is the easiest part, but it is what decisions you make, how you implement, all of that depends on how you thought this through.
So I think if you start in the beginning, and the way we organize in Dollarama is there's two things in the IT department. There's the IT department, but there's also what we call the project management office, which belongs to the IT department, and is only responsibility of this project management office is to collect the business needs from the different stakeholders in the organization, making sure those business needs and the way we will address them will be aligned with the overall strategy. So we have a group of people that their job is really to get to the function, speak to the business leaders, and really understand their needs. Right. That's really a key component of the success within this digital transformation journey. Because what they do is when they go to see them, they already have the overall picture. They understand the IT architecture, the understand the other solution, and then they not necessarily negotiate with them, right? They are helping them define their needs. And what they do is they make sure that they don't receive a how, right? They receive what, and they make sure that they receive a business need instead of receiving a solution from them. Because when we discuss with the business leader internally, the challenge sometimes is they are just trying to push the how. They've seen this specific software, they've been pitched from a vendor, or they have this idea of something they did in their other company. And so it really starts with this discussion where, okay, let me better understand what you need. Let me propose you solution. Let me come up discussing with the IT team. Let me come up with proposed solution, and this back and forth of understanding the need, coming up with a solution, being challenged by the function, and so on and so forth, is also help the change management internally, because the leaders of the different function, they feel they are part of the decision, they are part of the discussion. So I think that was one of the elements that we did well in the past, where we really involved them in the initial discussion, and we helped them understand the state of this project. I take an example of a replenishment project within the overall supply chain initiative that we have. So they really feel that they are part of something bigger, which is the overall roadmap of the organization that is managed by the PMO department under the IT. So I think one of the key success here is the IT is not just it's a service for the entire organization, but it's really its big role is to define this roadmap by leveraging the project management office.
So if you were to give some lessons to the audience here, what would you say are the top challenges that you grappled with when you tried to get the business to start thinking the digital way? And second, which particular things you tried to do that, and which of those worked and which one of those did not work? Because I'm sure all of the leaders who are going to consume this content in some form or the other are trying to do the same thing.
Launching the digital transformation journey, specifically in the retail sector, is really complex. And I think first, one advice would be to understand your role as a CIO, right? And as a CIO, the way I see the role is really the role is to change the status quo. Your role is to make sure that it's not just implementing new technology. It's about making sure you can help the company changing the way you do things. So once you understand it, then you see your role a little bit differently. The CIO is probably one of the only people in the business that has a real holistic view of the entire system, right? So you're not only responsible for the IT architecture, you're responsible to make sure that you align technology with business goal and strategy. So I think you need to understand that it's not the most popular job in the world, right? Because at the end of the day, you are making sure you keep the integrity of the entire system. You make sure that you keep things simple. So you have to make very often unpopular decisions, right? So it's not a popularity contest, and you have to say no to some people. You have to negotiate. So I think it starts, and one of the advice is to make sure that everyone in the organization understand that the CIO has this role. It's kind of a gatekeeper of the complexity and making sure you keep things simple, and you don't want to end up with a very complex architecture with multiple interfaces that will be very hard to maintain in the future. So I think it starts with this. And obviously to get that, you need to have a full support from your CEO, making sure that he is really supporting this journey. And then after that, it's really about collaboration. And once everyone understands the role of the CIO, then it's a matter of making sure the collaboration between the department is done very well. Um, so yeah, that would be the advice.
So it's very interesting that most of the digital transformation initiatives, they also in a way have the potential to fundamentally improve the workings of a company, not just lab technology, right? So one of the biggest areas which could be an area of opportunity is, I say, using data analytics, for example, and the ability to even capture the customer insights. Now, these two areas, when compare and give us a comparison on what it was like before you started your digital transformation initiative, the way you used to do your data analytics and the way you used to capture your customer insights compared to when you started this journey or you're now this farther along in this journey. How has that improved? How has that evolved as a result of you working on this?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because that one probably of the most significant shift that occurred towards our digital transformation journey. The approach that we took to leverage the data analytics, we recognized very early the importance of leveraging the data, and years ago we were the pioneers to deploy BW on HANA a few years ago, and this decision really marked a transition from a centralized approach to data with a laser focus on exception management. So in the past and traditionally, what we used to do was we had a traditional reporting system that provided the operation team with a static report. And so every district manager, regional district manager, people in the field operation had to sift through data to identify trend and anomaly. So you're taking field operation people and you convert them into analysts, right? So you ask them to read report and to take the correct action from those reports. So when we started our transformational journey, we moved to a much more proactive model. So we moved away from presenting the data to providing actionable insights directly to the end user. So we moved from a report to an exception management type of action and reporting. And so that was the system that started analyzing the data, interpreting, finding exception, and suggesting action. So instead of receiving a report, the people in the field started receiving action. So the reports were digested by the system, and then we were feeding action. One of the big benefits of doing that was to have a kind of a standardization on the way reports are interpreted, because the same report on sales or on inventory or what have you can be interpreted very different way from an individual to another. So that changed a lot the way the efficiency and the level of execution, because suddenly everyone was looking at it the same, right? Because the system were analyzing it and putting in action. And it was really well received in the field, because it was much easier to train new people, to make sure everyone is focusing on the same area of improvement, better allocation of resources, process were optimized. So we really saw that shift between traditional reporting to exception-based reporting throughout the data insight.
Now, given any digital transformation initiative, while you will get them to start seeing data analytics and other changes, and even the people in the business unit leadership level or the executive management level, they see the value, and their, KRAs and KPIs almost makes them, abide by whatever changes are required, and they're willing to work with you. But then there are two other constituents. One are the business users, as well as people in the IT team, who would say, I did not sign up for this extra work because I'm already very busy. What did you do to that end? How did you get them to all not only just start agreeing, but actually become interested and excited about it, because most of the ideas for improvement and or if some things are working out or not working, they will come from these two constituents, which is the business user as well as the IT team, which are supposed to make all of this happen and make it a success. So what did you do to that end?
Yeah. So first, one of the things that we've done to make sure that journey were successful was to make sure that what you're describing as I'm super busy, I'm overwhelmed with a lot of priority, I'm firefighting all the time, which is the day to day of the IT operation. We restructured the team really. So what we did is we divided the IT team in every department between operational support and transformation. So and you have different type of people in the IT department, and some people prefer doing day-to-day support, and they structure their thing, and they work towards with their customer to improve or to fix bug, etc. And you have people that are more project people that want to do transformation, and they accept the changing in priorities and etc. So what we've done is we created a section in every department where we have the project team and the support team, and no one should be at the same time. Should do project and support, and that way it avoids this issue where people are overwhelmed, and every new request from the users or the business users, they are seen as okay, incremental work. I have already a lot of stuff or a lot of priority, etc. So the people that were doing the transformation were really dedicated to certain departments. So I'm the one servicing the import department or the supply chain department, etc. So that way, I also don't have a day to day because my job is to transform. So it's to collect the need, understand it, propose a solution, and prioritize with my customer. So if the customer that is has a lot of needs and a lot of change in priorities, uh, it's in collaboration that they will reprioritize every week and within the transformation piece. And at the same time, if a bug occurs in production, it doesn't delay the entire project because everyone has to fix the bug and to fix the product. So that was the first element, and that was one of the key elements why it actually worked, because people were dedicated to the transformation journey. And I think that was one of the elements that was really successful.
Now, given retail sector by design is competitive, there will, I just hope there comes a time when you got healthy and a very high margins, but typically retail function doesn't work that way. So when it comes to the innovation in digital technologies, which if were to come and they could perhaps get you to become a healthier, more profitable business, what is it that you feel is coming our way, which we should be ready to harness? And I'm saying this as if you were talking to fellow retail leaders and you would like to have them start gearing up for the next set of technology innovations and which they could utilize in their own environment and get the benefit and offer benefit to the business, which it becomes. The retail itself becomes more profitable. What would you say to that?
Yeah, so I think, and for sure, and we are in the dollar store business, right? So obviously, we are every penny counts, and it's very important to make sure that we can really justify uh, every move or every piece of technology we are implementing, and we are. So I think it come up to always asking the question: does it actually benefit our customer or our bottom line, right? Because when in this environment of tight margin, you really have to justify every single investment you are doing. So and as I mentioned earlier, it's not just about blindly following the trend. It's making sure that every dollar that you spend, you brought a real tangible value. Um, so I think it first start with you need to take the time to crunch the number. We do a lot of pilots here. So we before embarking in any deployment of technology, we always start by, okay, can we do it very small size? Do we have a way to actually test all of our assumption, everything that is in the business case? Can we do it in one store? Can we do it at the office? Can we take a really small subset of people and try to go and not necessarily to deploy at 100%, but let's go to deploy at 60% just to test the, okay, do we have the right assumption, and can we scale it? Because usually before convincing people to embark in a huge journey or a huge project, it's always easier to convince them to embark in a very small pilot project to validate assumption, and then you're not just guessing; you're uh, justifying an investment based on something tangible that has already been proven at small scale, right? So I think that that's how we've done things in the past, and I think to make sure every dollar spent, every dollar that is spent counts, it's the right way of doing it.
So if you had to share some top tips for fellow retail leaders who may be already on this journey or may be ready to embark on a newer phase of their digital transformation journey, given your experience, what would be your advice to them?
I think that would be stop calling them stop calling it a digital transformation journey. It's a good start because it can scare everyone out. It could be as easy as making sure you keep the thing simple, and at the end of the day, what's really the digital transformation journey is a sum of initiatives that are integrated, right? So I think just by presenting them as okay, this is this is the set of initiatives we want to apply. This is where we are. This is where we want to go, and uh, and I think people have been burnt a lot with huge projects that, and everyone is worried of never seeing the end, or so show them that, okay, you are actually, it's different steps towards a certain goal, but every step of the way we are making progress, everyone can see the progress, um, and celebrate all those small steps, right? So I think breaking this big journey into small, uh, digestible pieces are one of the key elements I would recommend.
Once again, thank you so much, Nick, for sharing your insights about Dollarama's journey of integrating advanced technologies to enhance customer feedback and operational efficiency while maintaining the simplicity and affordability. Thank you so much again. And for the audience who's watching and listening to this show, my request is to please connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast. Once again, this is Sanjog All, your host from CTN, signing off. Please take care and God bless.